Alright, I apologise because I'm doing another Microsoft Flight Simulator video, even though I know recording it on the two things is not very good. I figured out that you can record a single screen if you record the Steam VR display window. However, the recording performance goes right down. Performance while playing does go down a little bit, but not as much as what's visible if you record the video. So the VR display window will display either the left or right eye. It's not going to display both, whereas recording normally it does display both on screen. So you got the left eye and the right eye, which is no good because, well, you could do the cross-eyed thing, but then you'll be left with a headache. So I was working this out while I was flying over in England, just seeing how it goes. At night time, just to see the updates and see how it goes. If you have the VR display window open, unfortunately what happens is the mouse disappears, and so you can't press any buttons or anything on the mouse, so you kind of miss out on, you know, being able to use the G1000s, clickable cockpits, that kind of thing, unfortunately. And I thought I'd let you know that you can't fly into the wind turbines in England. I tried. As soon as I saw them, I got the old melancholy feeling of Pilot Wings on the Nintendo 64, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to fly into these. They don't have any collision detection, which is fine. I mean, I'm not going to tell off Microsoft for that, because really, you're flying this not to hit things. You know, it's Microsoft Flight Simulator, not Microsoft Crash Simulator. So the whole point is to not fly into things and do it as properly as you can. I was also thinking about, oh, geez, I'm miles off. I had no idea that this was here.
500.
Yeah, I'm going to ruin everything. This is going to be a terrible landing, let's be honest. Whoa! Where am I supposed to land? Have I got to go around? Because there's the target for the landing in the middle. You know what? Let's try this again. I was thinking about it. Now, I fly Microsoft Flight Simulator, obviously. DCS, obviously. I've got plenty of videos for that. And Elite Dangerous, I've got plenty of videos for that. So, I think when it comes to realism of land, of Earth and navigation and that kind of thing, you really get something from Microsoft Flight Simulator. For the high fidelity aircraft and the combat, then obviously DCS, and just for the VR immersion is going to be Elite Dangerous. World War II at the moment, IL-2 Stormvik, you know, as much as I love World War II stuff, the original Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator, I enjoyed that for the World War II content, and I just liked the way that worked, and you could get Track IR working with it. So, as much as people love IL-2, I don't blame them, but there was something about it that didn't sit right with me, just like X-Plane never really sit right with me. Even though, you know, they're very positive reviews, people like it. You know, there probably is really nothing wrong with it. It's just there was something I just couldn't put my finger on. I don't know, just couldn't get into them. Falcon BMS, I could never, from what I've played of it, it's good, but it's a bit of a pain to set up the controls and stuff for me. So I reckon BMS is great, but I never got into it as much as everyone else did. But people stand by it and they swear by it. But for me, I would suggest, oh, this is a terrible landing. What am I even doing with my life? Does this have a fixed undercarriage? I don't even know. Look at that. That is absolutely atrocious. And that's why I am not flying and other people are. I have not had the training required. Oh look, we're going to end up on air crash investigation. Oh, look at that. Anyway, so you damaged your landing gear. Everyone's fine though. My spine's coming out the top of my head, but the landing gear's damaged. So, where was I? I would suggest Elite Dangerous. Like, these are my top picks. DCS, Microsoft Flight Simulator. DCS eventually, by the looks of it, is getting some decent World War II planes in there, and I really do enjoy flying the P-51. I am planning on buying more modules, obviously, to get the full experience, but I like the way the P-51 handles, but I don't have the Spitfire or anything else to really play with. I really want to, because I do miss the Microsoft Flight Simulator combat. I think it's Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator 3 or something like that. That was really fun. I liked that. What else was there? IL-2, yeah, I did get into it a little bit, but it just didn't quite sit right with me. But I think for now, that's going to have the World War II style dogfighting that everyone enjoys. The high fidelity planes in DCS, though, are just amazing. I love them. And Microsoft Flight Simulator, obviously, for the realism of world, but until they get all the buttons working. Also, there's a few things when it comes to the flight models and stuff, it's not as realistic as people say it is. I mean, I know people who fly DA-40s, not the NG, but they fly DA-40s. And from my understanding, the NG does not perform exactly how it should. Things do perform kind of close to how they should, but they don't. All in all, it's not hugely high fidelity, not as close as you're going to get with DCS. So that's my 2 cents on list of games to flight simulators and or VR using things. Elite Dangerous is the most immersive I have come across, and I love that game. I'm absolutely smashing it. But I get in my moods, you know. I'll go for Elite Dangerous for months and months. I'll get on DCS for months and months. I'll get on, you know, I very rarely play all at the same time, because if you're going to play flight simulators, it's not like you can hop in DCS and go for a 15-minute fly. That very rarely happens. If you want a decent experience, you have to put like maybe an hour or 2 into it to do a mission, you know, do a warm-up, drop some bombs, you know, get used to it, and then hop in and do a mission. And Elite Dangerous, because there's so much to do and it takes a lot of time, you can't really, I think the smallest session I've ever played is about 45 minutes, and that's just to go through the missions and see, you know, what I need to do at the time or whatever, and then play it. Longest session obviously is up to you, because that thing just keeps going and going. Microsoft Flight Simulator is not too bad if you know, the loading times they're a little bit better, but you know, if you just want to hop on for 15 minutes and do a landing challenge or something like that, it's pretty good for it. You can just hop in, go for a fly, do a bit of sightseeing, that kind of thing. I would recommend for anyone who likes flying, just flying in general, I'd recommend that if, you know, IL-2, Microsoft Combat Flight Simulator, I mean, they're not necessary, but they're good fun. And they cover off the World War II dogfighting, because that's a very different beast, that one. Until DCS gets a really solid lineup of World War II planes, and I mean, they're getting there. They've got a good lineup so far, but until they get there, and I mean, not everyone wants to spend money on each individual aircraft, but DCS is a must. Microsoft Flight Simulator, the size on disk is huge, and it takes a long time to download, but if you're a flight enthusiast, this is a must-have. And Elite Dangerous, just purely because it's flying, even though it's in space, you know, you get the full sci-fi experience as well. So that obviously it's not a simulator, but it does give you, there's combat, there's role playing, there's there's all kinds of things. I'm trying to put it into the context of why, people who like aircraft might enjoy it, but I don't know, it's a hard thing to kind of describe. I mean, there's so much going on in that game, but it's not revolving around the flying part, it's more revolving around the game and the things you do in it. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope I didn't give you a headache. I'll put on some more DCS videos, I think, because as much as I'm slamming Elite Dangerous, I really want to start flying my A10 again. I miss my baby. All right, thanks for watching, guys.